Okay, so in this episode, what we're going to do is we're going to continue from last time with PED, and we're going to look at what exactly determines PED and why is knowing PED important. Okay, so just to recap, when you work out PED, you're going to get a figure and it's going to be either between 0 and 1, which will mean it's inelastic, or it's going to be above 1, which means it's elastic. Okay, so inelastic means that consumers are not price sensitive, and elastic means that the consumers are price sensitive. Okay, so let's think about what are the factors that determine a product's elasticity. So the first thing is the number of substitutes available. So if consumers have plenty of choice, that means the consumers are going to be very price sensitive because there's lots of other options available from competing firms. Okay, so if the number of substitutes is high, then PED is going to be elastic. If the number of substitutes is low, then the PED is more likely to be inelastic. The next thing is the good an essential or is it a luxury? Okay, luxuries, because they're not necessities, they tend to be elastic. So consumers are price sensitive to luxuries because you don't need them. You don't need to spend your income on them. You're not going to die if you don't have them. Okay, whereas essentials like food, water, heating, these generally are inelastic because you need them to survive. You cannot cut them out of your life. Okay, so number 3 is the habit forming potential of a good. So this is particularly the case with addictive drugs like cigarettes, alcohol and other illegal substances. So if there is a habit forming potential with this particular good, then people are going to be price inelastic. They're going to be very insensitive to the price. They'll pay whatever it takes to get whatever it is that they want. Okay. Another type of good, it could be an emergency good or a non-emergency good. So emergency goods, for example, if you have to call out an emergency plumber because your house, one of the pipes has just burst and your house is flooding, the price is going to be inelastic. The price isn't much of an object to you because you need to stop your house from flooding. You need someone straight away. Whereas with non-emergency, there's more planning that takes place and price is more of an object. So non-emergency would mean price elastic. Emergency services or products would be price inelastic. The other thing is the percentage of income spent. So basically how cheap or expensive something is. Okay, how you perceive it to be. So for example, a box of matchsticks is very cheap. If a box of matchsticks goes up in price, it's very unlikely you're going to stop buying matchsticks. So for something that's very cheap to begin with, generally if it goes up in price, then it's price inelastic. The consumers aren't going to cut their consumption of matchsticks. Whereas if it's something very expensive like a car or a house, then people tend to be more price sensitive with very expensive items because it represents a very large portion of their income. Okay, so expensive goods tend to be price elastic, and cheap goods that are very low proportion of your income tend to be price inelastic. The other thing that makes a big difference is the time available to hunt around as well. So if you have a lot of time and you're thinking forward, you're thinking a few months ahead, you can shop around for the best deal and you are more price sensitive. Okay, so if you have a lot of time available, it will be price elastic. However, if you don't have a lot of time available, it will be price inelastic. So these are a lot of the different factors of goods and services that determine the PED. So how is it a firm can take all of this information? How is it that they can figure out why that's important to them? So why is that PED important for firms? So if they do this analysis and they figure out that their product is price elastic, right? Price elastic means consumers respond very well to price. Okay, so they the consumers, they love a good deal. Okay, so in this case, the firm, knowing this, is likely to put the price down, because putting the price down is going to create a massive amount of demand in response, and that's going to increase their sales and market share and maybe profits as well. Okay, now price inelastic, if you've done your analysis on your good or service that you're trying to sell, if it's price inelastic, that means the consumers do not really respond very well to price. So it's kind of like prices of no object to the consumer. They don't mind. So this will be the case, for example, peak time travel in the mornings on the trains, prices of no object. I need to get to work. Or petrol, for example, I need to put fuel in my car. I need to drive. So in this sort of case, the consumers do not respond very much to price. They continue to consume anyway, regardless if the price goes up. So knowing this, the firm, if they have an inelastic good on their hands, the firm is likely to put the price up, and they would be right to put the price up as well in order to make more profit and maximize their welfare. So hopefully all of this has made sense. Any questions, just please put them in the comments box below.